Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Lady Layer. Today is January 20th, so we just want to say happy MLK Day. So we're remembering him today, and there's something else going on, but we ain't gonna talk about that. So,
right. Happy birthday, Martin. Happy
birthday, Martin. We honor you today. I know you'd be so disappointed in this country, but hey, it's where we are. You did the best you could with what you had. We're trying our best out here. It's a struggle, but
he would be so disappointed that we still fighting Cheetos in 2025, child.
No, for real. And people's decision making and how they make decisions based off of nonsense it's really disappointing. And Earth is ghetto. It just is what it is. So
yeah,
we are moving right along. Today we kick off the show talking about Traitors. Hopefully you guys have been keeping up with the show. It's already getting a little bit juicy. People's already being conniving and going around, and we getting into the nitty gritty already.
Right. I was definitely on the edge of my seat this week because listen, the drama was going down. It got spicy on that round table. Okay.
Oh, it sure did. People's eyes were bucks.
People,
and the poker faces. The poker faces were trying to be on.
Right. Bob was trying to hold it back so much, but honey, should we start off with what happened before that, or should we just get to the goodness?
What happened before that? I don't even remember.
So they came and they went into the room. They got to act like,
oh yeah,
she got eliminated, and then everybody was like, "Oh, we're coming for Nikki," because everybody was they were trying to come for Sierra because Sierra didn't defend herself or try to like plead her case when she got put in the coffin.
Right.
And then people were like plotting for Nikki because they're like, she's an actor, but isn't she a wrestler? Like,
and wrestling is very much acting, yeah,
but not great acting.
It's all fake.
But not great acting.
Yeah, no, they're not good actors.
Right. We know it's fake. So I think if she was acting, we would still be able to tell.
Right. People are trying to come up with whatever they can to try to figure things out. What I did think was good was when Nikki said she heard light feet. And I was like, Danielle.
Right. Listen, and the other girl, what's the other girl's name who's a part of little Bambi's crew?
She had it.
Right. Why didn't she use that? Like she knew who came out of the room and she didn't use it. Like that was her. Her moment.
She tried to use it, but she used it at the wrong time. She talked about it at breakfast. And when she talked about it at breakfast, they had an excuse for it because another person who she didn't hear said that they went into the room too. Like nobody was suspecting Wells or whatever his name is. So
she should have talked about it with her group first.
Yes. And she should have brought it up again at the round table. She talked about it at breakfast. They had an excuse. They shot it down. She never brought it up again.
Right.
So yeah, I think that was where her mistake was. But
yeah. So then they do that little challenge with the totem poles, and we get to see people's true colors because more people was concerned about putting their head on top than actually, winning the challenge. So,
right. So that's another part of this game is just like save yourself, but we got to work as a group. And I think that is what really shows your cards. Like it's hard to find a balance because if you don't go for the the shield, then you look like a traitor. But if you go too hard for the shield, then you don't look like a team player. So it's just like you gotta find a good balance of like working with the team and acting like you need to protect yourself if you are a traitor.
Right. And then okay, so I know you don't agree with me, but I just feel like the Traitors need to fall back. You don't need to try to get a shield. Like, I mean, act like you want the shield, but don't actually win. Like,
get it. Yeah.
I just think that's rude, especially when you get eliminated. Like, you got a shield and you didn't need it. Like, really? Now I'm about to die because you a selfish prick. Really?
But also strategically, like there's several strategies that go into that with people who are traitors because one, you don't want to look like a traitor, but also you don't want the person that you want to get the shield. So if you get the shield, you're guaranteed you have more options of who to, cut off. So I think, but it is messed up because at the end, people are like, why you was going for a shield so hard? And you was already safe, but but I wanted to get rid of you, so I can have you get a shield.
Right. So then during this competition, Bob the drag queen, he opens his big mouth like he been doing all season
all the
and
time.
says,
Danielle was getting on my nerves with that, both of them.
right. He's like, I think that one of the traitors is a new person. And then boom, of course, Rob hears him and it's an instant target on his back. From that moment forward, it was drama because Rob was like, you gotta go. You blowing up my spot. You putting a target on my back because I'm a new person. So now you gotta go. And honey, he definitely brought it. At first, he was trying to be like inconspicuous and like put it in other people's ears, but people wasn't going hard enough for him at the table.
I gotta get the job done.
Right. He said, look, I guarantee you, Bob the drag queen is a traitor. And if he's not, then eliminate me next.
Right. And they bought it. They listened to him. But Sierra, she just got off by the skin of her teeth because she was getting out that door too. And who else they had? Somebody, it was really close.
Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki. The votes were actually really close. But I was also concerned if Danielle was going to go on Rob's side or not, because I was like, Bob the drag king is her friend for real. So I'm like, is she going to vote him out? Like, is she going to put him up? But Rob looked her in the eye and was like, this is what we're doing. And I think she was like, I am not going against him. She probably figured out he has the numbers. So I think it was smart on Danielle's part to go with him and like child deal with Bob later. Like, so I don't think he's that upset.
But I think that but I think that she needs to keep that energy though, because if she tries to come at him like next week, like it's only gonna put a target on her back.
Yeah, he's definitely coming for everybody. Now I hope Wes.
Yeah, because Wes, my boy Wes,
his spidey sticks are already tingling.
Right after the round table, he's sitting at the bar and he like, hold up. How could you 100% guarantee me somebody is a traitor unless you're a traitor? Which, listen.
And these fools that was sitting around here didn't even think about that.
Right. He got that knowledge. They're like,
why did y'all think about that?
Listen, he always plotting. So of course he looked like he just sitting up there chilling. He voting for Nikki, even though he knows she ain't the traitor, but he like,
yeah,
I peeped that.
That's why I was so happy that Wes was gonna be on the show, because he's gonna get it going. He's gonna get in everybody's ear. And another thing with Wes, he don't really like to do all the dirty work. He's gonna manipulate, he's gonna pull those strings, and he's gonna get other people to do all the dirty work. So
hopefully he's able to do it and get off and not be on the Traitors' radar, because he might not wake up one morning. Okay,
right. That's why he has to play it cool, because if he doesn't, like you said, they're gonna be like, he's helping them too much. We got to get him out of there.
Right, but right, and if they do find out, maybe because they want to get Rob out and he's coming, he knows that Rob is a traitor. Maybe they might be like, "Oh no, the girls will be like, we're not getting rid of him." Yeah, because I guess it has to be a consensus for who they kill or they murder, whatever.
Yeah.
So
they all have to agree, I guess, to make the decision. Anywho, so let's move on to Love Marriage Huntsville.
Yes. So this week, Trisha decides that she signed the divorce paper. People keep questioning her about why it's taking her so long to sign the divorce papers. And like on this episode, Ken is showing like he's kind of getting tired of waiting. Like he's starting to feel like, what are you doing, Trisha? Like, do you really not want to be divorced? Like, what's going on? Because like, I've been here for you. Like, I never questioned you. This man gave you the papers. Like, why are you dragging your feet on getting divorced? And then like every time he bring up getting married, she'd be like, eventually or whatever. Like,
right. So when she was talking to her kids, she was asking them how they feel about everything, about their dad. And her son was like, I thought y'all was already divorced.
Right.
Like, the kids, it's not affecting them that much. Like, they're like, girl, we live with this other man. Like, are you gonna marry him? Like, what are you doing? Even the kids are confused. And so it's like, you don't have the excuse of he gonna sign the papers. You don't have the excuse of you're concerned about the kids. I believe she's really just scared because of her previous relationship. I don't think she's ready to I don't know if it's that she's not ready to let go. I think that she's not like sealing the deal, because once she seals the deal, she knows Ken is going to propose.
But I
And
think that if she's not ready and she has all these like trepidation, she needs to let Ken go, because I think Ken is a good guy. And
yeah,
look, she messing him up. Like
and
let
that's
let
what I was
that
gonna
man go.
say. I feel like that's what I was gonna say. I feel like she's leading him on, and instead of like breadcrumbing him and just being like, "Oh, it's this, oh, it's that,"
Mm-hmm.
be honest with the man and let him know, like, "Hey, I'm just getting out of this marriage. It was very detrimental to me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that I'm ready to get married to someone." Because when whoever was asking her, like, "Are you even ready to get married?" She's like, eventually. And like
Right.
he's ready tomorrow. You guys live
Right.
together. You guys have established this family unit. He's taking care of your kids as his own. Like for you
Mm-hmm.
to just sit there and be like, oh, maybe down the line somewhere, I just feel like it's unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I feel like
listen, I didn't realize how chocolatey he was. Like his skin was all chocolatey and glistening. I'm like, oh my God. He had on his hoochie daddy shorts. I'm like, Lord, come on. Listen.
yeah. And also too, I feel like she's gonna try to like put some other stuff in there, because now she's talking about, oh, the communication is not there.
Right.
And before it was like he's a good man and he's this and
Mm-hmm.
he's that, praising him, all the things that he's doing. Is now it's like now you're trying to find something. Now, granted, we don't know the man in real life, but it
Right.
seems as though now she's trying to find something all of a sudden to come up with an excuse as to why she can't marry him right this moment, instead
Right.
of being honest and saying, I just got out of a 20-year relationship, however long it was,
Yeah.
and I'm not ready. But I
Yeah,
think that's probably,
she's definitely trying to sabotage it.
yeah,
Like, and then
yeah,
like, regardless of what, I mean, for me, like, regardless of what she says, like, you can't take away the fact that this man stepped up for you, made sure you guys have a roof over your head, taking care of your kids like his own. Like, the fact that your daughter has a relationship to where she wants to call him dad, wants him to come to her school on parent days, he's sending
yeah,
your kids money. Like, they don't want for anything partially because of him. Like, I'm sure she works or whatever, but a
right,
big part of it is because of him. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just feel like she, no matter how much dirt she tries to throw on him as far as like communication and stuff like that, like, he's still a good guy. Like,
Yeah, that
yeah,
I think she owes him more of an honest answer and honest explanation as to why she's not ready. And I think she needs to start telling him instead of
yeah,
telling all these other people, like, oh, maybe one day. I don't know. Are you saying that to him? Because I'm pretty sure he already got the ring. And
right.
it's like I just feel bad for him because he's invested so much time, energy, and effort
Hmm.
into you and your family when you're not even ready for what he's ready for. He could have went and found him another woman and married her a year ago. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, but he loves you and he wants you, but you're not. I feel like she's not reciprocating that energy.
And she can't talk about his communication when she not even telling him how she feels.
Right. And she ain't telling him the truth. Bro, you got me on this TV show where I have to find out every other episode something else that you done did with this
Right.
man that I have to do scenes with. Like you got me out
Right.
here wide open in so many scenarios, and I feel like he handles everything with grace, like with class,
Hmm.
like handling her ex, handling Martell's situation. Like he's just moving along, and that's a man who really loves you because he's just eating it. He's just
Right.
taking it all in and still being by your side, still being there for you. So y'all let us know in the comments what y'all think about this whole situation. Is she leading? We know she leading Ken on.
Hmm. She needs to let that man go before
Yeah,
he too damaged and don't nobody want to be bothered with him. Okay.
that's what's wrong with America. They take a good man and use him up
Right.
and suck and cry and then release him to the world, and he
Right.
just can't operate no more. Like,
He gonna add to the pee in the dating pool. Leave that
yeah,
man alone. Let him go.
please. He's a good man, Savannah.
Right. That's a good man.
And I
Shoot.
think she just needs to like do some more like soul searching within herself too. Like, because I think she needs to figure out who she is as an adult woman, like
Yes.
raising these kids. Like she seems like she's kind of still like childish minded, and like even how she operates with her ex. Like we know he childish, but you're supposed to be the bigger person.
Yeah. And
And
then she
so,
jumped right into it with him. Like, girl, if you
yeah,
needed time to heal, then that's what you need. Like, let him know.
yeah, I think that's what it is too. And she has so much trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she dealt with so much. And I feel like that could be a lot. It is a lot of her anger towards him and how he handled, all of the loss that she dealt with. But going from a marriage breaking up or all this loss, your marriage breaking up and going right in with a man and like basically acting as if you're married to him,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't give herself a chance.
No. Or
Yeah.
him.
Or him. Yeah. So
Yeah.
let this be a lesson, ladies. Don't rush.
Right. Take your time. Don't
Take
destroy
your
the few
time.
good men we got left.
Yeah. Give yourself and your relationship a fair shot by being
Right.
honest with yourself about where you are. Like that's what it boils down to. Because sometimes we tell ourselves we're okay and we're
Mm-hmm.
ready. And there's no possible way you can be ready when the ink is not even dry.
Right.
Unless
And it's
it's
okay to go to counseling.
yeah.
Don't talk to somebody.
Yeah. Clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Yeah.
how we got this bridal shower. Yeah, the bridal shower with
Mm-hmm.
Elle and she's getting, her vows renewed with her family and everything, with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And what's her name? Destiny.
Destiny.
Destiny planned the shower. It's awkward because there's people there that just don't get along. First of all,
Right.
this was weird to me. Okay, so Destiny has these body people there that they're supposed to be painting their body, right? Why are they just sitting out in
Right.
the
They
cold
hanging out.
naked? Like not naked, they had on bathing suits. But why are they just sitting there? I feel like they should have been in the back somewhere. And then
Who's
when it's
painting
time,
them?
they're supposed to be painting their bodies.
The girls?
Yes.
Why do
So
I
it's
want to
like
paint them?
I don't know. Destiny thought that this would be fun. I don't know why she thought that would be fun.
Right.
But
Like
there's a body painting class, so they're supposed to be painting these people's bodies. And the girl is sitting there with her.
child.
She's sitting there with her legs open, her stuff, and she forgot to stop. It just, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I don't see why they were just sitting there in the scene. Like it was weird, but Destiny put it together. The venue and everything looked cool. So side note with Melody shows up. She don't have no makeup on. I feel like Melody this season is not like on. Like as far as like her hair usually be on point, her makeup, her fits. Like she usually steps in the room like every scene. Like so I don't
You
know
don't
if
want to
she
be there.
yeah, it's like either she didn't want to be there or she paying for glam this year or something is she's just doing, bare minimum. Like her wigs lately look like she ain't tacked them down, like she just put them on, brush it out. She didn't flat iron it, she just threw it on. Like,
Well,
what's this time to do?
she said her kids had something to do later. She wasn't painting anyway.
I'm not talking about this scene. That scene at the bridal shower, her wig was the most tacked on that I've seen in the last 3 episodes. I should have screenshots, but I was just concerned because she usually has herself put together well. But anyways, yeah, so she comes in. Trish has an off energy towards her, and she's like, "Do we have a problem?" And apparently, Trish still has an issue with her about how Mel conducted herself at her son's graduation party.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I circle back to the graduation party, I'm like, I think it was weird that she kind of called her out in front of her ex. It's clearly tension there already. Like, I do think it's weird that they even brought her in that, but
Yeah.
Since they brought her in it, she was honest. So
Right. I don't know why she was invited in the first place.
Yeah, I think it was weird.
Yeah. But then Trish kind of backpedaled because she was saying all that stuff to Kimmy, like about how like whatever. I don't remember everything she said verbatim, but when Melanie confronted her and was like, "Do we have a problem?" She was like, "Well, I don't really know you," and da 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 da. It's like, well, I mean, the
you
way
do have a problem. Just say what your problem is.
Right. The way Kimmy explained it, regardless of the fact that you know me or not, it still sounded like you had an issue. So what's your issue?
I think people like to say that, like, I don't know you enough to have a problem with you, but you do. You have a problem with what I said, how I said it, where I said it at. So just
Right.
say that. Like,
Right.
I was at my son's party. I didn't like that you was calling me out in front of my ex. And then I didn't like that when everybody was at the table, you making a joke about me still wanting to be with him. You know, everything is fresh. Everybody knows what's going on with the relationship. He acting a fool at the party, and you saying that I still want to be with him. Like, you knew that was going to piss me off.
Well, girl, if I didn't know her, I would think that she would still want to be with him too, because why you ain't got a divorce? He don't have to initiate the divorce. He don't have to sign the papers. Like, so
I agree.
So clearly that's showing that you want something, because if you didn't want to be with him, you could have got divorced 3 years ago. When was the pandemic? When he left? Right.
However,
right.
If you need to say that at the table in front of everybody when she knew everything was already, because this is my thing about Melody. She did it twice. She did it twice, because when they was over there under the little tent, and he brought Melody into it though, because he was like, well, how do you feel about X, Y, and D? And she was like, well, I do. She was like, are you triggered? I feel like you're triggering him. And she's like, what? Why you want to say that? So that pissed her off. Then when they get back to the table with the whole group, she's like, she just want to be with her husband or whatever she said. So she's at this point, she feels like Mel is coming for her.
Yeah.
Because
but I feel like Mel probably feel the same way too, because why is this whole Martell drama being brought up and being brought to me?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like with the Martell thing, I think they should have left Melody out of it. I feel like they're already divorced. She's not with him. It didn't need to be brought up at the table when they was out of town.
They didn't need to have a lunch.
No, they didn't need to have a lunch about it. Like, it was like, okay, I don't care what this man do. And allegedly, if y'all don't do nothing with each other, what do
I need to know? I don't care if y'all went and watched movies while we were separated.
Yeah, because that's what was like, well,
right.
That's why I was confused. I was like, was this when they were together? Because why would it be so important, like, to tell her? Like, that I was confused by that part, but they said it was when they were separated. But my question for Melody would be like, because she was I don't like her because she be acting like, what? Yeah. If somebody came up to the table, that did happen to her, where people was like, oh, y'all still want to be together. Every time somebody mentioned anything to you about Martell, you flew off the handles. So,
but I don't think that her and Trish acted the same. Like, when Mel was done, she was very much done. Martell was the one still harassing Melody and making it seem like they wanted to be together. Like,
but my point is, regardless of like how they act towards their ex or whatever, you didn't like when anybody said anything to you about your ex, about you still wanting to be with him. Because if you're divorcing someone, you're divorcing them for a reason. And if anybody walked into a room and said anything about, she didn't even want her name and his name mentioned in the same sentence, and that pissed her off. So I'm at my son's graduation party. It's already a scene going on over here. And then as soon as I come to the table to greet everybody, you like, oh, she just want to be with her. You don't see how that's not funny.
Yeah, no.
That's why I feel like Melody just be acting all of it. What? Girl, you know that would not be funny to her, but you didn't care. It was funny to you, so you said it.
Right. Yeah. No.
So that was that. And next week they're going to be having the party, I guess.
And Sunny shows up. So we're going to see if Destiny can actually heed to what she was saying when she was trying to calm down Trisha and Melody about, oh, this is Nell's event. It ain't about y'all. Y'all don't need to be fighting. Da, 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 da.
Right. She said it though. She said, let's see if I can take my own advice.
I doubt
Destiny is very self-aware.
I doubt that she takes her own advice, but I hope she does.
Doubt it. Yeah. Her trigger just walked through the door. She is definitely not going to handle herself well.
Child, okay, so let's get into Real Housewives of Potomac. Yeah. So I think the good stuff started when Ray and Gordon went to lunch, and Gordon started spilling the beans about all Mia's lies. and then said that he actually, in fact, had a DNA test on Jeremiah that Mia already knew about, and Jeremiah is his son.
And she just dragging this out.
And I agree with Ray when he says that if he's the dad, why wouldn't he be able to take his kids if he feels like they're not safe? Like,
right.
Because I guess Gordon was saying that he felt like the kids were with Ink and he doesn't trust Ink to be around his kids.
Yeah. I think Ray added some sauce on that too, because he didn't necessarily say that. He was just saying if. He's like, if I'm here, why would I leave, my kids with, like, it doesn't make sense, because the kids were supposed to be with the nanny, but Ink has access to the house, so he could, be there. And then Ray was like, I feel like he was trying to say
but I don't know why he wouldn't be comfortable with Ink, because Ink is around the kids all the time. Like, how, well, I guess alone. He's not alone with them. So he would be alone with them for this week or however long.
And I don't know, I didn't get that he was necessarily saying that he feels like they will harm them or anything. I think it's just a matter of, if their father is here, why would my kids be left with him?
Yeah, especially if there's not a custody agreement. And that's what threw me too, because Mia's talking about that she has full custody and blah, blah, blah. Like, if there's a custody arrangement, I get it, because the kids are supposed to be with you during a certain amount of time and him with a certain amount of time. Get it. But like, there's no custody agreement in place. So why wouldn't they go with their dad? Like, that doesn't make sense.
And she's lying, saying that she has full custody. Y'all ain't never been to court.
Right. Never been to court. They're not even legally separated. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And clearly, I believe Gordon, because if you look in the media now, they're supposed to be back together and everything. And if he really did all these things and you're so afraid of what's going to happen with him. And that was my whole thing about, like, him living in the same building. If he really was having these manic episodes, and, like, not saying that he doesn't, but if you were really that concerned, why were they with him so often? Why does he live down the hall? Like, you don't really have any safety parameters for him if he was this person that you're describing.
Right. And it sounds like, from what he's saying, he has full custody, because how he with them 25 days out of 30 days of the month? Like, that sounds like you're
traveling. You're traveling, you're doing your thing, you going to Atlanta at the drop of a dime. Like, it's cool for him to watch the kids when you need to go to Atlanta and do whatever you need to do.
Right. And if like, well, she claims she didn't know where they were, but, like, I don't know. I just don't understand Mia. Like, honestly, I don't understand her.
I think Mia be doing everything for the plot.
I hope Karen didn't quit, because, like, I don't know if I could keep watching Potomac. Like, I love Wendy. I think Wendy is a great asset to the show, but I don't know if Wendy can carry the show by herself, because Kiarna, we still getting to know her, and like, I don't really get her and her fiance drama. Like, that's kind of like, like, it's giving the Bravo curse. Like, y'all probably not gonna become fiancés, because
I didn't like that she was saying that he is basically not supporting her in this. I feel like it's valid for her to want to keep her name. Like, she's already built her name, her business, everything with her last name. I feel like what she was saying is reasonable. Like, let me keep my name with all my business stuff, and then if I go and legally change it, like, for us, that's cool, but for the public, I still need to be at X, Y, and Z, because at this stage in the game, she grown. She got a lot of stuff under her belt, and so I wouldn't want to give that up either.
But I also think that Kiarna don't need to share everything with the girls, especially if y'all already going through stuff he don't want to film. Like, y'all should keep what's going on in y'all relationship separate. Like, you have other things that you could be talking about. You could talk about your businesses. You could talk about baby bop, like a whole bunch of other topics besides your man and the issues that y'all are going through. And I think that's probably why he's like, they having the issues that they are, because he's like, we don't need to share everything that we got going,
But that is what she signed up for.
I know, but everybody don't share.
They don't, and they don't last very long.
But Giselle been on the show since the beginning, and I don't know nothing about her besides Pastor Bryant.
But that's what I'm talking about, is you have to share your relationship. Like, the people who hide their relationship and don't share anything, they don't last very long. They don't get paid as much because the show is centered around your personal life. So whoever you're dating, if you're dating someone, they want to know who he is. They want them to be involved. They don't have to be like and shoot every scene with them, but it is a part of your storyline. So I think they're asking her, like, you
So I
know,
think
what's going on with this? What's going on with that?
I think she could do like so how Karen is with Ray. I think Kiana
Yeah,
could do that with her fiance.
right.
Like we don't know every single thing that goes on between Karen and Ray, but we see Ray. Ray comes to
Exactly.
events. Like I feel like that. Like she
But
didn't even
Karen
stick
learned that
with.
over time. Karen learned that over time because remember in the beginning, Ray was a target. Everybody was calling him Uncle Ben and all this stuff because she was telling all his business about how much he was making. And you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like when it's your first couple of seasons, you got to learn like how much to give. How, like just like that's why I feel like Giselle does. Giselle gives us all these little fake boy toys to hold them off from seeing what she really got going on. She gives them just enough to get by, but Kiana is still learning and she's, you know, and then
But
they
she
moved in.
says that her and Karen are close.
Him.
She says her and Karen are close. Like if I was new to the show and I was friends or I had a relationship with one of the OGs, like I would kind of like ask them those questions, like, so what do you think is too much to share and blah blah, like, you know, like that's what you talk about, not if you're Ozempic.
Right. And why would she tell everybody that?
Right. Like, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I want to give Kiana a chance, but
I like Kiana. I do. I just don't know if without the drama that she's bringing with her boyfriend, I don't know how entertaining she would be. And it's not even like a lot of drama, but like how much Sophie, how much can we talk about the spa?
She hasn't really talked about it much.
She's filmed there at least a couple times this season.
Yeah, but I don't think it's her storyline. I feel like her story is more about the baby bop and her relationship. Like, where's her relationship going? I feel like that's more of her story.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So she took her boyfriend out. What would she be talking about? Because like let's say he gets hired. Let's say the Bravo curse works and he like, I can't do this. Then what's she gonna talk about?
Yeah, I feel like that's everybody though in the beginning, because it's the same with Stacy. If we didn't talk about TJ, well, I guess we would talk about her divorce. But
yeah, I'm bored with TJ.
I'm bored with TJ too. See, this episode, I was like, kind of like, what did I wrote something about TJ because I feel like he was being a little bit unreasonable with her, but I feel like Stacy jumped the gun dating him. Stacy got a lot. She got a lot going on with this divorce. She's in La La. Like, why would you go hire this lawyer and talk to this lawyer and you don't want to listen to nothing she got to say? Like, you think that your ex-husband or you think your husband is just going to be a Boy Scout and give
honest.
and continue to give you everything. And she already said the last time when she went to the I think the deposition or something, that she learned all this other stuff about him and how much money he had and stuff. And she had no idea. If this man was dishonest with you in your relationship about what he had, what makes you think he's going to continue to take care of the things that he's been taking care of? I don't think he's not going to take care of his child, but he could come and snatch that baby from you and be like, well, I've been paying all this and I didn't take care of him. You know,
and that's what the lawyer was trying to tell her, but she's just like, oh no, I know him. He would never do that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, girl, do you think you this lady's first client? She's worked with lots of women just like you. Get it in writing. That's all she's saying. She's not saying you have to come out with her, come after her for whatever. If he chooses to do more than what's on the agreement, fine. But at least you have a standard of what he's required to do in writing. And if he decides to go beyond that, that's on him. But like, girl, what?
It's simple, and he shouldn't have an issue with it if it's what he's already going to do. You can you can let him give you the number,
right? Exactly.
It's like she said, it's just getting it. I did like the way the lawyer was handling her though, because she asked her those questions, and then at the end when she's like, well, what percentage of women that come in here saying what I say come back and she was like, I couldn't even count.
Right. I wouldn't have to do this if I got paid
exactly. I
money.
would be if I had $5 for every person, like, girl. And she's still like, well, I think I know him. It's like, okay, girl. And
She
then
gonna be like Katie, struggling with the struggle wig, trying to go on a trip with them because she trusted in her husband. Ciao.
So how did you feel about her saying, like, okay, so TJ was getting excited, like, okay, when your divorce is final, I mean, he's moving out, can I come over? And she's still kind of like, no, like, my daughter is there.
I don't blame her because he wasn't he talking about you ain't even my woman and whatever at Karen's house. Like now we jump into where you gonna be with my kid.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's kissing her in the mouth, and he's they're together. You are my woman. And it's like, you were not saying that at the table the other day,
right? Where like, how did things flip?
Yeah, I didn't understand that, but I felt like he should have been more understanding of her situation as far as like, okay, I'm going through a divorce. I have a young daughter, and this is hard on her. Me bringing in another man into the household right away is like crazy. Like, I have a daughter. Like, I feel like he's being very selfish and not considering like her situation.
Yeah, I feel like TJ is definitely about self because, like, honestly, like, even him being on this show and her husband seeing it, granted, I don't know if he knows that they're in a relationship or not, but him being on this show, like, do you think that her husband is not gonna watch this and like see what you guys say? Like, this could jeopardize her settlement, which is what the lawyer is saying. Like, everything's cool now until he found out you moved on, you got a new man, you ain't. It's like like. I don't know.
Yep. And she hasn't really dogged her ex or anything like that, which I think is good. And she's treading lightly with TJ, but I think she should have just held off on all of it. I feel like, I don't know, that's what people were saying in the beginning. Like, maybe she brought on this guy, like a little Kenya situation where it's like, it looks better when you come on these shows and have a man.
Yeah, because that's not her best friend. Like, let's stop playing. And listen, I was done with TJ when he went on Watch What Happens Live with that see-through shirt, that little fishnet shirt. Yeah.
TJ is very questionable.
No.
I think the man want to be on TV. He has been an extra for 30 years and he's still trying to get discovered. And I just don't see it for them. I don't feel like she's really that into him either. I don't feel like he's into her. I don't feel like she's into him. Even like when they hug and like the little smooch is like very awkward. She's like, oh, come over here. Give me some love. Like, no, that's not
TJ doesn't even give Walter. Like, Walter was still like, like, and like he was like, even though he wasn't really fooling with Kenya like that, like at least
he played the role.
Yeah, in the beginning we thought, okay, maybe. I don't believe it at all. Like, I never was like, oh, maybe TJ.
No, I don't see it all for TJ at all.
Like,
so we get
to Walter.
Yeah, it's not giving. I think when they said it was giving Walter, it's like a rent a man.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody rent a man's on Potomac. Giselle, Ashley.
Yep.
Stacy. Yeah. And I don't know if you watch What Happens Live, but they definitely brought it up. Because you watched it with Wendy?
Yeah, with Wendy and Kiki.
Yeah. She gonna try to comfort Wendy talking about she could suck a
yeah, we know what you're saying.
But like, everybody's thinking it. Like, come on, like, girl, you definitely could do better than this man. He's not cute. And why do we like, girl? Why are you bringing up his cancer? Like, here we go again with the sympathy thing.
The storylines, yes.
Like,
it's weird.
What do that got to do with the price of China? Price of China, like
China.
Like, girl, she still think you could do better than this young man. It don't matter what he's doing. Like, he's too young, and honestly, he could do better. Because why is he gonna be taking on a woman with 2 kids that just got out of a divorce? She don't even know what she's
trying to figure it out, and she not even divorced all the way.
Right. Like, no. Like, honestly, Wendy got it backwards. He could do better than the situation, but I think she was trying to be nice.
Right. But speaking of Ashley, Ashley's doing this drag show. So everybody meets up at the drag show. And child, we didn't get to the drag show before.
Right.
Karen comes in. She goes to Giselle right away, downloads Giselle on everything that's going on. Giselle come back to the group like, Mia, you're a liar.
Why have you been lying to us? Right. She didn't have no pleasantries or nothing. She said, let me just get to this because, girl, I'm tired. I done been listening to you for the past few months and you are lying. Like,
you are lying to all of our faces about everything in this situation. You've been lying, you keep lying. And it's I think everybody was just annoyed at that point. And Karen, this was what Karen and Giselle needed because they was ready to fire off on her anyway.
Right.
So yeah, they confront her about everything that we kind of talked about in the beginning with the paternity test, with her not having full custody. What was the other thing?
Her trying to act like she didn't know where her kids were when she actually knew where her kids were. Like a whole bunch of stuff. Just everything.
Like just calling her out for just lying. And so then she decides to come.
The paternity.
Yeah. All that was my thing. Why would you drag your kids' business into this on TV? And you already know what the truth is. And then here comes Jacqueline trying to save her woman, talk about, well, it was a home test.
Maybe she didn't want to say it. It doesn't matter. It's still, even if it's a home test, it's still accurate.
And if she didn't want to say it, she should have never brought it up.
Right.
On camera at all.
So she released a statement on Instagram talking about trying to say that Gordon released all this information. He's the one who originally released the paternity issue and all of this stuff. And he's the one that thought that Jeremiah could be inked because of the affairs and all of this stuff. And it's like, I don't remember him bringing that on the show.
Yeah, I thought it was her. Yeah. I remember the conversation in the kitchen, but maybe she mentioned it to him off camera and he brought it on camera. I don't know.
I feel like the first time they talked about paternity was at the reunion when she was saying she kind of like flippantly brought it up that maybe Ink could be the dad or whatever. Or
yes.
She said Ink thinks that Jeremiah could be his or something like that.
You're right. She did bring it up first. And then she kept bringing it up because, you know, they had that after show little scene in the kitchen where they had it out. But then she brings it up again with the ladies, like all these little small like innuendos, just sliding in there like, well, you know, with the fathers of my children. And it's like, at that point, you already knew that the paternity test was done.
Right.
And you're still saying this, like, to drag this story. I think that's what pissed them off. It's like, girl, did you already know? And we're rallying behind you, and you know you're frustrated because now Ink doesn't want to be with you because of Gordon, and it's just like you just told us yesterday that y'all was all chummy, and it's just like you got everybody in this tennis match over your relationship with these two men that nobody really cares about, but you keep dragging us into it, and he was lying the whole time.
Yeah, no.
Karen and Giselle was like, oh no, they was like all up in my I was like, okay.
But I feel like, again, a hit dog gonna holler because she started trying to come at Karen for the DUI. And it's like, what does that have to do with you lying? Like,
nothing. And that's why Karen was like, she's not going to get a rise out of me. Like, I expect this from her.
Right. Stop deflecting. Address the fact that you've been lying to us this whole time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So when I was watching Watch What Happens Live last night, Andy kept asking them about Karen. So he asked Kiki and Wendy, like, how do they feel about the tapes and everything? And I feel like they answered the questions very politically correct. But Andy kept pushing. Andy was like, well, how do you feel like as a friend, like once you saw the actual video come out, seeing that she said she was going to be vindicated? Like, why do you think she would say that she was going to be vindicated if she knew those tapes were out there? And then I think Wendy said maybe she just thought that, you know, that her truth would be different, or like she was like, I don't know why she would say that.
Even Ray was on there at the lunch talking about, Karen feels like she's going to be fully exonerated. She already bought another car and all of these things. I
Yeah.
think
So
it's just the Lulu.
yeah, I don't know, because she was so intoxicated. Maybe she did not remember them recording her.
Child, listen, I didn't
Or
been.
maybe this should be a lesson to everybody though, that if you go to court, if you go to trial on something, once those videos are submitted into evidence, everybody's gonna see it.
Right. And don't be going out getting drunk by yourself, because
Because you don't have anybody to talk sense into you, and you just make dumb decisions.
right.
Like
If
you go,
I've never gotten a DUI. I've never even been in a position to get a DUI.
no.
But I definitely have had nights where I don't remember. And listen, I definitely don't be going and arguing with people when they tell me stuff about a night I don't remember. Like,
Right.
if they told you was drunk driving, okay, I'm guilty because I don't
You
even
might
know.
want to zip your lip.
Right.
Like, don't say anything. And it's just like, my thing is, if you're going out with, you knew what state of mind you was in before you started drinking.
Right.
And if you went out with the intentions of getting drunk, why would you even drive to your location? Why wouldn't you have somebody drive you? Why wouldn't you order a car? Why wouldn't you call an Uber to go? Like, use your car. The way she got towed up by herself, she went there intending to get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
So you should have pre-planned and ordered
Right.
yourself a car. It's been, why you didn't look at all the housewives' histories of DUIs and say, let me be a little bit smarter.
Well, her history, because she already had a DUI previously.
That's very true. So yeah, I don't understand it, but I feel like Wendy and Kiki, that was kind of like, yeah, we're just praying for her.
But I want to see what the drama is, because supposedly her and Wendy fall out. So it's interesting to me that Wendy was like really not trying to come for her on Watch What Happens Live, because she definitely was coming for everybody else. But she didn't come for Karen, which is interesting. No. So I wonder how they were able to remedy their relationship, because it seemed like Stacy was like stirring the pot talking about that Karen said that Wendy was self-absorbed and all of this stuff. So
yeah.
But still to come. We haven't seen that part yet. But
and they're saying that I don't know if they're just trying to pump it up, but they're saying that the reunion is very explosive and entertaining. So
yeah, they said there's like a surprise thing that comes out. But I feel like they try to say that about every reunion, and I ain't seen a good reunion in a long time. So
right, they always hyping stuff up, and then we be watching like, okay, so when is it happening?
Right. Right. Let's just hope it's really like that, because we've been disappointed. Okay.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to Married to Medicine.
Yes.
I know it's annoying. Right. So we open it up with all the ladies sitting at the table. They're going over all the funds that came in for the benefit, the charity gala.
Yeah, the Med Gala.
Yeah, so they're doing their what they call it, financial forensic, whatever. Yeah. And seeing who paid. Yes, being very messy, because the group, none of these people was on the board. Okay.
Right.
Her and Phaedra was supposed to be co-chairs. Why wasn't Phaedra invited to the meeting?
Right.
You got all these people.
Well, they said Phaedra wasn't doing her job, so maybe that's why they didn't invite her, because Heavenly said she took over.
They was there to be messy, because they didn't call Simone, Quad,
yeah,
Heavenly. They all there. And what cracked me up is once they got to talking, Jackie goes, "Let me go get the Hennessy."
Jackie, why do you even have Hennessy? First of all,
she bought it for them. She got it for them because she don't even drink.
Right.
But so yeah, they said,
you know Heavenly like Crown. So why do you have this Hennessy?
The Hennessy was for Quad. I saw that. The Hennessy was for Quad. But anyway, so they get down to the nitty-gritty, and here go Quad with her pen and paper. Now, what was the $4,000 for? She wanted Jackie to say it out loud.
She knew dang well what that $4,000 was. Like, if you don't knock it off.
Right. So apparently they saying Phaedra did not pay. And we did see last week Phaedra posted a check of where she did pay not the full amount and not to the
she didn't even pay the $40,000.
She did not pay the $40,000. She did not pay to the charity that was on screen that we saw on the show. I think she paid it to Jackie's charity.
No, I thought it wasn't it the 2 something? I thought it was the charity.
It said Pretty in Pink.
Oh, maybe I saw a different check because I thought it said 2 whatever that charity was.
It was the Pretty in Pink Foundation. That's what everybody was like. This ain't even to the charity that we seen on the show, and it's not for the full amount.
Really? Did you send it
to me? I thought you sent it.
Girl, I don't know.
But yeah, because that's what I noticed first. It said something about the Pretty in Pink or something. Everybody was like, why would she even here we go, right here. Shades of Pink. She wrote it to Shades of Pink, which is Jackie's foundation. And it's for $35,000. $35,006.70. And then she posted the back of that check as well. So she did pay, but she did not pay the full amount, and she paid to Jackie, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, I guess to pay devil's advocate, paying it to Jackie, I mean, she still could have gave the money to the charity. But it wasn't what she said. It wasn't what she promised. She said it was supposed to be like 47,000 or something like that, right?
Right.
Which is why it went up to like 52 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So she didn't pay the full amount. But I mean, I commend her for paying anything because she could have just said, I overspoke. We didn't get the full amount. Let's give them what we can give them. But she gave.
But I see why they're mad though too, because they wrote that fake $100,000 check and now they got to honor it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She should have said it before, like when they had that little powwow and she said, oh, I got it. She should have just said, you know what? We did not meet our goal. I'm willing to give 20,000 or 35. I'm willing to give 35,000. If anybody else wants to match the rest, that would be great. But this is what I'm willing to give. And they could have wrote a correct check. Right. Now doing it way after the fact is just messed up.
Right. And I mean, she can't lie and say, oh, I paid it because girl, you didn't pay. We have you on camera saying you're gonna pay 40 whatever thousand, not even mentioning the 4,000 that your friend and reneged on.
Right. Right.
Like
they said, child, that he was calling everybody trying to figure out where, because they charged this card. And he called around trying to figure out where he gonna get his money from, because she's saying, oh, this was just for TV. It's like, girl, this is not Real Housewives of Atlanta. They want their money.
Right. Trifling.
Right. So I don't know. That was shady.
Yeah. So then we went on to what's her name? Latisha? Latricia?
Yes. Latisha.
Another Isha. Is her name Latisha? Sweet Tea. It might be. Tea. Yeah, we go. Yeah.
Sweet Tea, honey.
Right. We went on the Sweet Tea's age gap speed dating.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know. I would do a age gap speed dating because like a little.
She did a great job. Yeah,
it didn't look terrible, and the guys didn't look old. Like I was not mad at the age gap thinking.
Now the first 2 guys that walked in, I was like, oh Lord, the belly came in before he did. I was like, oh no. But then when they panned the camera, they had some nice looking men there. They weren't too old either. I think the oldest there was like 53 or maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So no, that's But I think they did
a small gap.
Yeah. Like 43. 45.
Right.
But I think that she did a good job. It looked really cute. She had the ladies there. She had the men there. I like the way she had everything set up, like organized.
Yeah, good.
Yes. And then how she paired them at the end with like write down who you want, and whoever wrote down the same people they got. I was like, that's a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. The man who was like throwing money, like, sir, what do you think you at the strip club? Like, that was tacky.
He was the one who his belly came in first, and he had a bedazzled shirt on, so I wouldn't have looked his way either anyway. But Phaedra sunk her teeth into the man she found, and I think he was 30.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Phaedra be that like
flirtatious. Yeah.
Yeah, like she was like at the end, did you see her like hanging off his back? I was like, it's a little different for her. But hey,
he must have really had some money. That's why she was acting like that.
Oh, did you see his watch?
No.
Yeah, I peeped his watch and I said, oh, she peeped his watch too. And she know that he got money. And I think he was African, so she was like, yeah, he got some money.
Right.
Yeah, so I can see why she was like ready to go. But also on this show, you need a man.
Right.
And so if I'm not mistaken, I think he's gonna come with her to the couples trip.
You think so? Him? Not
so.
Another random man. I can't.
I think so, because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I remember seeing a clip of her with a man there, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but that would make sense as to why she was like, all like, I think it's love at first sight. I should say love at first sight, but she was like, I don't really believe in love at first sight, but like, I really like him, and whatever. And he still seemed like a cool guy. But then Simone walks in with Heavenly. I don't understand the way Heavenly is dressing this season.
Alora is helping her with her outfit.
I think her daughter is definitely dressing her. And with her saying that's what she had in the trunk, I'm like, okay, girl.
Yeah,
but
right.
I don't understand why Simone would even bring Heavenly, knowing that what happened with everybody at the last time everybody was together, like not even just Sweet Tea, but like you knew contestant was gonna be there. Like
she's trying to smooth things over because they had that couples trip coming up.
That is not the place to bring at this girl's event. She would have been better off doing it at Toya's thing.
Well, she came to Toya's thing.
Huh?
She was at the Birkin baby shower.
But that was after, right?
No, she was at the whole time for the Birkin baby shower.
No, what I'm saying is I feel like she didn't have to bring Heavenly to Sweet Tea's event. She could have waited until Toya's to do it.
Oh, I think the baby shower was after the speed dating event.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. But I mean, it worked out fine. Sweet Tea got a little aggravated, but she kept her composure.
Yeah, she held it together.
And, and it seemed
like they ended up making up.
Yeah,
after the little after party thing, so that was good.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it was a good thing that Simone did bring her because they wouldn't have had that conversation. Because I don't think there would have been no reason after the Birkin baby shower for them to hang out. So I think that was good that he brought her to the speed dating thing.
Yeah, I just feel like in the real world that's messed up because I'm having an event with other people here. That's why I said I feel like she should have brought her to Toya's thing because it was just gonna be them. But Sweet Tea is having an event with people that are her actual clients for her business, and then you bring Heavenly old reckless Taylor there talking about I don't like your tone. And it's like if she wasn't at her event, she probably would have went there with her a little bit more. Or if the new girl, the psychiatrist, wasn't kind of like there to be like, okay, girl, this is your event. Like you need to chill. She probably would have took it there with Heavenly and it would have ruined her whole event. That's why I was like, Simone, that was shady for bringing her and not telling her that you was going to bring her. Like, or you could have just came at the very end and been like, whatever. But
yeah, she should have definitely given her a heads up for sure.
Yeah, but it worked out. So we'll see how long it lasts because I don't feel like it's gonna last very long because Heavenly's mouth, she can't control it. She just can't. And like every time if somebody says something to piss her off, and it's like, girl, we sitting here having a semi-heated conversation, and you want me to watch my tone?
Right.
Like, girl,
do you not hear yourself?
Yeah, I don't really like your energy. Well, you surprised me. So whatever energy you gonna get when you surprise me.
Right.
I feel like they just be so unreasonable with like stuff. Like it's just like I could never be on a show like this. Like, girl, what are you talking about? You just walked into my event and we don't like each other. How you think my energy gonna be?
Right. Yeah.
So then we go to the Birkin. This was stupid.
Yeah, I don't even think we need to talk about the Birkin baby shower because they was literally just trying to do anything to fill this hour in. Like they could have kept that.
Yeah, the best thing we learned from the Birkin baby shower was that Heavenly and Sweet Tea hung out and that they was cool. That's the best thing that we heard at the Birkin. It was an update for that.
And Avery know how to make burgers.
And he was so disgusted with his mama. He was like, "This is so stupid."
Right, and the purse is ugly.
Yeah. And then she go quiz them about the purse. And Simona's like, girl, I got 2 of them and I don't even know what the hardware is called. Like,
Right.
Quad was like,
and Heaven was like, I'm not spending my money on stupid stuff like that.
yeah,
We ain't gonna even talk about Toya's finances, okay? I don't
right.
spend my money on dumb stuff.
Like the home that they're currently in, I don't even think they own that.
No, I think they're renting it. And it doesn't make sense that they went from a house they own to a house they're renting.
Right. And you're buying a $32,000 bag. And not to mention how much money she had to spend before she even got offered that bag.
Right.
Because that's the way the whole Hermes Birkin game work is you have to get in good with an essay for them to even offer you the bag. And you gotta spend $50,000, $100,000, I don't know, to even like,
which they probably get commission off of, which is why they know, we can call her and she'll come and spend money.
Especially when you're Black.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never heard of the others talking about the Birkin game the way Black women talk about it.
Child,
I feel
even
like
if I was a millionaire, I couldn't see myself like trying to get one of them. Like it's just a regular purse to me.
I would get one.
I don't, you know me, I don't care about stuff like that.
I watched this guy's video on TikTok and he had a story about his Birkin that was just so beautiful. And it's like he has a very rare one and he's had it like for like 20 years and it still looks really, really good. And he literally wears it every day. Like it goes everywhere with him. He told stories about when they took a trip here and there. Like he was a really, really good storyteller. But also those bags appreciate in value. Like it's an investment. So people that like are in and they can actually purchase them and be offered them, I think it's a really good investment. Now, I wouldn't keep them in my house. I would have them stored somewhere else because they get pretty like Kyle. My heart hurt for Kyle when her house got broken into because Kyle had some really exclusive ones. She had some upwards of $100,000. Like I remember when she brought one bag and somebody was like, is that the such and such and such and such? And they popped up how much it cost. I said, dang. So my heart hurt for her. I was like, I don't think she'd be spending money like that on the bag no more. I wouldn't keep it in my house.
Right. Well, I mean, they kind of set themselves up because then they go on the show and they post all the stuff they got, and then the robbers be peeping it. Like,
yep. I have a friend that has very expensive, like a lot of like watches, and like he'd be like, I don't got none of this in my house. I don't keep none of it at home. Come try to rob me if you want to. It ain't there. Like he doesn't keep any of his valuables in his home anymore because where he lives, you know, the city, people are known for getting robbed. No matter if you live in the richest part of town, people still get robbed. But I blame Bravo for all the people on the Housewives that the houses that got broken into because on the shows, they literally give you an aerial view of the house. They show you the whole blueprint of the house, the street. I'm like, if I was on the show, I'd be like, you may not. Go show somebody's house down the street. I don't want you giving an aerial view of my house.
But that sucks for them because they're going to break into their house.
Don't show mine. Go show an Airbnb. Do not show my house. I do not consent to that.
All right, y'all. Well, that's this week's Lady Layer episode. We hope you enjoyed. If you've reached this point, like, subscribe, and put us a little emoji in the comment if you don't want to write something long. Pick up your phone and just drop an emoji because that's how we reach the masses. Okay, we need some comments, y'all.
Yes.
But yeah, tune in. We'll see you guys on Friday for our second episode this week. Thanks for watching. Bye.